Hi, Woofer here. I recently returned to winter backpacking, and that means a return to the MSR Whisperlite, particularly when you're melting snow. One problem I've had with the Whisperlite in the past is that it doesn't sit flat. If you've ever used it, you understand. The bottle full of fuel, because this hose is relatively short and stiff, you get this inability to sit. You think, well, when you put your pot on it, it'll sit. And this is true, except recall you have to prime it. So that means filling this little cup with fuel and lighten it, but filling this cup with fuel at an angle like that, the fuel tends to spill out. Much better if it would just sit flat. There have been several attempts commercially to solve this problem. MSR came up with one of their very own called the Trillium Universal Stove Stand. But as you can see, it didn't really solve the problem. I suppose that's a lot closer to being flat, but it's not exactly flat. With a full fuel bottle, you've still got your foot off the ground there. The company UCO, or UCO, many years ago had a stove stand called the Mightylite. I'll show a picture of it now. The Mightylite was a pretty good answer to the stove stand problem. Unfortunately, the Mightylite was discontinued and I missed my opportunity to get one. So after some thought and watching a few other people on YouTube come up with what I thought were less than perfect stove stand solutions, I decided to come up with my own. The thing about the UCO is that the dimensions are 12 inches by 6 inches. So I went about looking for a piece of material, preferably metal, that was 12 by 6. And you know the thing that's exactly 12 by 6, made of a lightweight metal? A license plate. So a license plate is nearly exactly 12 by 6, which is almost exactly the same dimensions as the UCO Mightylite. So this is what I came up with. I'll show you up close. So I got on Amazon where you can buy license plates, custom license plates by a company called Ink My Plate. You type in Ink My Plate on Amazon and you can choose the state and whatever 8-letter license plate saying you want. I chose Birdie Ball, naturally. I drilled 4 holes, one at the top, one here, one here, and one here. I affixed for feet kind of clamps. These, they are framing kind of L brackets. Hole here and hole here. I fixed them with wing nuts. And I only need 3 naturally because the Whisperlite only has 3 feet. Here for my fuel bottle, I attached, I drilled holes here, 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 and here, and attached some shock cord. And this shock cord, the bottom one, is adjustable. That accommodates the different necks on the different fuel bottles. So I can use a large fuel bottle or I can use a small one. When you put that down and you got your 3 wing nuts with L brackets, the weight of the fuel bottle tends to push this side down. So I added another wing nut just to balance out the stove stand so that these act not only as wing nuts that are completely adjustable, but also feet, so that on a surface like a tree stump, you have a very stable surface. I'll put it together and I'll show you how it works. So I use the 325 milliliter MSR fuel bottle almost all the time. I have found that it is better to have 2 small bottles than to have 1 large bottle. Each small bottle will last me about a day and a half in terms of cooking, boiling water, boiling snow for water, all my needs. So what you do is you slip in the bottom of the fuel bottle, you attach the top part, like so. And you see there's a little bit of play in that top part. Because this is a smaller bottle, I come under and I just cinch it up a little bit. Now I've got a nice, firm, sturdy surface for my fuel bottle. And it won't, it'll slide freely, but it won't move about when you have your stove there. The stove attaches pretty easily. I typically attach to the bottle first. And the legs snap on, and that one snaps under. Now you can see the stove and stove stand are completely flat. Everything is stable and in order. No need to hold this end down while you're lighting it up. It works, I think, probably just as well as any UCO Mightylite. And a buddy of mine said I got points for style. In addition, I acquired a stove box by Harbor Freight. You can see that over here. This is a $29, I suppose it's supposed to be a camera or a firearm case, but it holds my stove and stove stand assembled nearly perfectly. So when I take off on my polk, I can have my stove fully assembled in my storage box with my stove accoutrements, and will even hold a spare fuel bottle. That way when I get to camp, or if in sudden need, I can open my stove box, throw out my stove stand, and get her lit up. She's already ready to go. Okay, so maybe that was helpful. I have seen lots and lots of YouTube videos, but I haven't seen anybody use a license plate to make themselves a stove stand. You can get on Ink My Plate on Amazon, order whatever state and whatever license plate number you like. 4 holes and a little bit of shock cord, and you'll have yourself your very own stove stand that I think rivals, at least in terms of function, but also in terms of style, of the UCO Mightylite. Have a good day.